In my last video, I talked about being a Fromsoftware fan since the original Dark Souls games, and playing those games when they came out, there were a few game mechanics that have kind of been lost to time that I really miss. Dark Souls 2 had a new game plus where a lot of enemies were added or changed, and enemy placements were changed. There were a few bosses that would have some additional red phantoms so the fights would feel different. And I miss the feeling of wondering what else would be different and going around the corner and having an almost new playthrough. Dark Souls 2 is the only one to do that, and I really wish another one did. Another thing that's been lost to time is covenants. I really hope this DLC puts a covenant or two in, but I don't really expect them to. I would be extremely happy if it did happen. It'd be a big surprise for me. But something that's been a little lost on Elden Ring, in my opinion, is a bit of co-op and just reasons for co-op being covenants. Again, back in Dark Souls 2, there was a lot of covenants, and it wasn't just for co-op, but it was for PvP as well. And there was a lot of good rewards. It just enhanced the experience so much. Bloodborne was probably my favorite with the Vile Bloods and the Executioners. And I would really like a system like that in Elden Ring now. I would love to go back in and just start doing a lot of co-op and helping people, and that's what I've been doing now. I got some footage here, just messing around in a couple Margaret runs. And I'm doing it just because it's fun. I'm doing it just because I want to do it, but it would be nice if we could somehow keep track of it with a covenant. In Bloodborne with the Executioners, you would basically just have a number of vermin that would go up with every boss you killed. You get a new vermin, and then it was just like a little leaderboard for your own personal vermin. And that was just such a cool feature. It felt really good. And it definitely helped me want to play the online portions more. When the game first came out, I did a lot of online. I did a lot of invading and co-op. But then when I started to casually play Elden Ring, like just pick it up every once in a while, I feel like I stopped doing a lot of online. Sometimes I would do co-op with some friends and things like that, and that's always fun, but I also really enjoyed in all the other games just kind of helping random people and just doing the matchmaking. And I feel like that's just kind of been a little lost in Elden Ring. And I just wish there were some covenants to kind of point me in the right direction for it. But another mechanic that's been lost to time was Dark Souls 1's weapon upgrade path. That felt so confusing and scary and so hard to get into. That was so hard for me to understand. At the end of the day, you just level it up with whatever you needed and it like told you what it was. And I mean, it's that simple, but I remember just trying to plan for it. It always felt so like I had no clue what I needed. I don't know how many green or blue Titanites. It just, for some reason, it made it feel so much more complicated to me. Elden Ring really turned down that system. They just said, okay, you got smithing stones, you got smithing stone 1, then you got smithing stone 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you got somber smithing stones. And for all its simplicities, it's just small details that are gone, but it's, is really minuscule. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about covenants. I really miss covenants. I really hope this DLC gives us a covenant or two to farm some points in, just so it feels like I have progression. Dark Souls 3, their covenants, that was a little disappointing. No, I don't mean that. Dark Souls 3's covenants were pretty they're right in the middle. The online components were always good for them, but like a lot of the times I just started to farm the materials, and that was kind of shitty, unfortunately. The Watchdogs affair, and I just farmed those 3 guys next to the one bonfire, and then the Dark Moon Blade just farm that on those Anne Orlando stairs, and I had to do that so many times. Like, I'm pretty sure I did that on console, I did it on PC, and then I'm pretty sure I lost my PC save file and did it again. So like, I know the struggle. So that just kind of tainted that kind of tainted Covenants for me. But a lot of the online in Dark Souls 3 was super fun. The PvP in Elden Ring has been super fun. I love doing the Colosseums. I just would really like to see some numbers, even just wins, just Colosseum wins. There probably is something. I'm gonna go back on now and check. Maybe I'm wrong there. But yeah, comment down below what you miss from old games and what you'd like to see in this DLC. Only a couple more hours now. Oh, it should have just released actually. Oh, that's amazing. Well, enjoy. I'll see you out on the fake lands between the shadow worlds. Thank you.